But it's like that, isn't it? Our mic is always on. Whether we are holding the words back, our vibrational mic is always on. We are always broadcasting, and we are always achieving a point of attraction. And the universe and law of attraction is always responding to what we're broadcasting. And there is not a switch that works. You can't just switch. Esther doesn't want us to show you her switch. We were going to, but she has some measure of control over us. And so when you think about it, you are always emitting a vibrational signal. Do you know that? That you are vibrational beings living in a vibrational universe, and that it is a vibrational basis that law of attraction is responding to. And as humans, you often forget that because you are such good vibrational interpreters through your eyes and ears and so on. Your physical senses are all interpreters of vibration. Your most significant interpreter of vibration is your emotional center. What you are feeling emotionally is your indicator of that vibrational signal that you are putting out there. And the way that that signal works, the way you read it, the way you understand it, is by understanding that there are two vibrational vantage points from which you broadcast. We like to call you a cooperative component to who you really are and to your best well-being, or an uncooperative. We've been calling it allowing and resisting. We've been pointing it out to you for a while, that you can tell by the way you feel how you are doing. Now, those feelings are not nearly as important to you as we want them to be, because you have learned to just cope with your feelings, to accept them. You've learned that negative emotion happens because you are avid observers of what's going on around you on your planet. And so as you are observing good things, you often have a good feeling response. And if you are observing what you consider to be bad things, you have a bad feeling response. And for the most part, you have come to accept, if you've been around a while, because you learned it from everyone who seemed to surround you, your parents first, who tried to convince you that the world does not revolve around you, when in fact it does. So you have learned to cope with those emotions rather than read them, rather than understand them, and rather than utilize them in the way that you intended to when you came forth. You have forgotten, for the most part, that it is guidance. Guidance that lets you know how you're doing in relationship with who you are. Now, some might say, well, what difference does that make? If I see something unwanted and I have my negative moment, so what? Bad stuff happens, and as I focus upon the bad stuff, isn't it natural that I would feel bad? We say, yes, of course, it's natural that when you focus upon things that you don't want, that you would feel bad. But we want you to understand what the greater ramifications of all that are. We want you to understand that, of course, you can't look at something unwanted and feel good. The question is, why would you look at something unwanted? And most of you would say, because it's there. Because it's there, because it's big, because it's compelling, because I can't help it. And that's where we have our strongest disagreement with you, because we know you can help it. You just have to want to, and you just have to understand that it's possible. And so it is our desire, as we are moving through the hours that we are together today, to remind you that you have control of your emotions. Now, many would say, how? And many more would say, why? Why would I want to control my emotions? And we say, because it's your in-the-moment life experience. We want to say, why would you not? Why would you not rather feel good than bad in any moment? And most of you would say, well, when you put it that way, of course we would rather feel good than bad. In fact, everything that anyone wants, no matter what it is, a material object, a pile of money, a relationship, an improved condition, everything that everyone wants is because they believe they would feel better in the having of it. No exception. So at very clear, deep levels, you understand that you want to feel good. You just don't yet know that you can always feel good. So we want to approach this emotion which is central to your moment-to-moment life, we want to approach it from a new framework today. Many times you come to these gatherings because you do want to gain control over your life experience. And if you've been listening to us for a while, you've been hearing us say, might want to give that control up. Because the control that most humans are trying to effect is control of conditions. If I could just control that condition, then when I look at it, I would have a good feeling, knee-jerk response to it. Because good conditions evoke good feelings from me, while bad conditions evoke bad feelings from me. So most humans are really going about it the hard way, the impossible way, trying to control conditions. We want you to realize that since everything that you want is because you think you will feel better in the having of it, we want you to realize with us here today that the primary manifestation that you are looking for, moment by moment by moment, what you're really trying to create, is an emotion right now that feels good. That's why you want to go to a movie that moves you, or to a movie that thrills you, or to a sporting event that makes you feel good. That's why you want to hang out with friends that are uplifting. It's why you want to go places that are inspiring. It's why you want to go on a vacation. It's why you want that new house. It's why you want to drive that car. In other words, you want those experiences because you want to feel good, and you believe that some of those experiences, if you are able to create them and control them, will cause you to feel good. And we don't disagree with any of that. We know that there are many wonderful feeling experiences that you are seeking because you want to feel good. We just want, by the time that you are leaving this room today, to have convinced you that the primary manifestation that you are looking for, and we are using this word specifically and powerfully, we want you to accept with us that the primary manifestation that you're looking for is the manifestation of feeling good. It's the emotional manifestation. And if we can convince you of that, we know that you get it conceptually. But if we can convince you of that, and then further, if we can convince you, and we are really in the convincing mood, so come along with us. If we can convince you that not only is the manifestation of emotion the manifestation that you're really looking for, but that it is something that you can control. You can control your mood manifestation. You can control your attitude manifestation. You just got to understand how it works. And you got to care enough about how you feel to be willing to direct your thoughts in places that do cause the manifestation that feels good, and then you've got it. Once you figure this out, once you accept that the way you feel is in your control, and is, after all, what you have been here in the process of creating all along, then as you begin to deliberately direct your thoughts and discover the delicious alignment that is possible at all times, now you find what you all have been looking for. That absolute freedom. Freedom from bondage, freedom from fear, freedom from poverty, freedom from sickness, freedom from all those things that you've wanted freedom from. You find it when all along what it has been is freedom from resistance over which you have complete and utter and absolute control. Really you do, really you do, really you do, really you do. We told you we're in the convincing mode. Really you do, really you do, really you do. So your source energy before you come forth into this physical body, and a part of that consciousness comes into the personality that you know as you. Now you get that. You get that there was something before you, and you get that you're here. You look around, you know you're here. You accept that there was something before that. But this is the part that most people don't get. So here you are in this physical body doing just what you said you'd do, exploring and coming to new awarenesses of what you personally prefer. What would make life better for me? You say that as a one-celled organism. You say that as the little ant that is moving across the sidewalk. You say that as the full-blown human. This point of consciousness that I accept as me is having exposure to life which is causing me, no matter what that point of consciousness is, even if it's a cell in your magnificent body, causing me to know what I prefer, what would be an improvement for me. New desires born constantly at all levels of consciousness. That's what the evolution of all species is about. So this rocket of desire emanates from you. You don't even have to put words to it. Your mic is always on, and you are emanating these rockets of desire. And as this rocket of desire moves forward in terms of manifestation, the source energy part of you, who is always part of you, the source energy part of you, receives that request and becomes it immediately. Becomes the vibrational equivalent of the improvement that your life has caused you to ask for. And that's the moment that you then have a responsibility to yourself, if you are a seeker of feeling good, to now keep up to speed with that new rocket that the inner being part of you has just embraced and become. Did you follow that? And so often, instead of being a vibrational match to the improvement that your life has just caused you to become, you are mostly standing in your awareness of what you don't want, holding yourself without meaning to, through your observation of what currently is manifested in vibrational resistance to the improvement that you've just asked for. And that is the basis of all emotion. If you don't have enough money, you ask for more, and the larger part of you becomes more prosperous. But if you keep beating the drum of not having enough money, you continue to deprive yourself of the improved financial condition that you've already set into motion. Now, does this make sense to you? Do you understand that vibrationally there is a part of you that you keep setting a new standard? You keep raising the bar. You keep finding a new vibrational set point. And that if you don't keep up with it, then the crevasse or the gap between who you consistently are through your attitudes, through your habit of thought, through the friends you hang out with, through the blogs you read. In other words, you're constantly expanding. The question is, are you keeping up with the expansion? And if you're feeling great, if you're emotionally happy, if you're tuned in, if you're turned on to life, if you're flying high, if you're full of exhilaration, if you feel passion and love and appreciation often, if you are in that tuned in, tapped in, turned on attitude much of your life experience, then that means you're keeping up to speed, you're keeping up to speed, you're keeping up to speed. It means you're thriving on all fronts. But if you're grumpy, if you're cranky, if you're guarded, if you're fearful, if you are not feeling good, then that means that you're expanding vibrationally, but you're not doing a very good job of keeping up with your own expansion, which means you're creating a tension within you that doesn't feel good. So when we say to you, your emotion is your primary manifestation that you're reaching for, most people say, give me the new house, give me the new car, give me the improved body, give me the financial abundance that I'm looking for. Give me the means to travel the world and do what I want. Give me the means to quit that job I've got and leave behind that ornery employer that I've got. Give me the means to walk away from anything and everything that I don't want, and then I'll be happy. And we say, it doesn't work that way. That's backwards. You've got to find the happy place first. And humans say, you find a happy place. You be happy under these conditions. You live with what I've got going on and you be happy. And we say, we are. We are living with what you've got going on and we are happy. And the only reason that you ever feel unhappy is because you're not up to speed with that which we are. That is the basis of unhappiness. You think your unhappiness is because you don't have what you want. You think it's because you don't have the car, you don't have the lover, you don't have the bodily condition, you don't have the money. You think that's why you're not happy. And we say, that's just the excuse you're using to not be up to speed with who we are, and not being up to speed with who we are is why you're not happy. You see? You see? So when you get it, do you get it? That you have this vibrational relationship that equals your mood. And if you will make this vibrational relationship your primary concern, if you will make it what you care about, if you will stop saying world or universe or God or Abraham or mother or lover or employer or employee or friend, if you will stop saying, give me something that makes me feel good so that I can feel good because I want to feel good, and after all you sort of owe it to me to give me something to make me feel good because I want to feel good. If you'll stop saying that, meaning that, feeling that, and instead you'll say, it is my responsibility to conjure a framework of thoughts that causes me to feel a little better now and a little better now and a little better now. If you will show yourself your ability to manifest the emotion without demanding a condition to change first, now you've got it. Because once you achieve the vibrational stability of feeling good anyway, the condition has to change.